Tony Khan defends the spike spot, so you'll, I'm sure, remember Jon Moxley and Adam Copeland, Edge.
Yep.
Jon Moxley got a spike board of nails buried in his back. It took over a minute to get out after he was suplexed by Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge. But Tony Khan has now weighed in with this. Here's the quote. When Mox had the spike bat in his back, that was a great wrestling moment. It was memorable. It was memorable. It helped drive box office for us. Did it?
I guess. That's what he said.
Well, that's what he said. I'm not sure it did. It was the highest rated episode of the year. It went viral. It went viral. It's one of the most watched videos of the year. It's probably the most watched video of the year in AEW. It's a fantastic moment. It made new fans and created interest. Did it make new fans, Dutch?
I don't think so. How many people want to see spikes in a guy's back? It's a car wreck. That's what it is.
Well, people like a car wreck, but I mean...
They do, but till they get there and they see somebody's head missing, then they said, I don't know if I want to see that car wreck or not.
It might put people off.
No kidding.
More than create
but
fans,
see, they grew up on PG-13 or under. You know, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. I remember one thing I heard in WCW, blood was always out. The whole time I was there, it was always, no, you can't do that. And you couldn't do a few more things. And these things weren't that bad then. But now it's like, but back then it's like he took a gun and shot somebody. That's why Dustin got fired from WCW.
Yeah.
Remember what was it? A ring and on the back of a truck.
Oh, no, I thought you meant the other one. That was Dustin. He got fired.
That's right. Didn't I say Dustin?
I thought you said Dusty. I'm sorry. Well, Dusty got... I have my mind at Dusty because he got fired for the exact same thing.
Yep.
Because Dusty...
Where did Dusty get fired?
Dusty got fired because he was angry that WCW, because it was WCW at the point, was now implementing a load of what you can do, what you can't do kind of things, ever since Ted Turner bought the company. So in response, he had the Road Warriors take off one of the spikes off their shoulder pads and jam it into his eye. Ooh. And then he bled everywhere. And then I think he got demoted, and then he immediately quit afterwards. So there was that. And then the Dustin one was him and Barry Darso were wrestling on the back of a truck for ages. King of the Road match in like 95, whatever it is. And they both bled. And WCW had an absolutely no bleeding policy at the time, and Dustin got fired.
I think they have a interstate system that goes around Atlanta. I think it's called 285. I think, and it's 60 miles around the city of Atlanta. It's massive. That's where they had the match. They were. What if you're driving with your family, all of a sudden, here comes the truck, and two guys are wrestling in the back of it. You say, what the hell? But me being the big wrestling fan, I would have to stay right beside that truck. But you couldn't, because they probably had cars in front and cars in the back, keeping people away. But it was a novel concept, I will say that.
Yeah, but here's the point then. Did that create a ton of new fans? Or was it ultimately a silly idea that cost a lot of money?
It probably cost the car drivers in Atlanta a bunch of new laws. You can't put a wrestling ring on the back of an 18-wheeler and drive it around the interstates and have a match in it.
They had a helicopter filming that. It was really expensive. Anyway, the point, I mean, especially with Dusty, it's like, yeah, that was like a really gruesome thing after they'd been told it's probably not a good idea, for sponsors. And Dusty decided out of spite to do it anyway because he didn't like to be told what to do.
Okay, so what do you think gave Tony Khan the impetus or the idea of having a nail board stuck in his back?
I bet it was Jon Moxley and Adam Copeland. They thought, we've got a really cool idea. How about this? Or they didn't even tell him and just did it.
No, I think they told him because he landed right on it. You know, I've always made it like a thing of mine. Before I go down, I look behind me and make sure there's nothing there. You know, if you're in a ring, you're walking by and all of a sudden there's some nails sticking up out of a board. Oh God, this be good. I'm just going to jump on it. Boom. No, I don't think I would do that. But I don't know if Tony Khan said it got a lot of eyeballs on the product. He's the boss, so I guess it did.